Welcome to Regan's Corner. We have two state representatives of South Central. Believe it or not, that's probably the first time it's ever happened before. So, Lillian, Dayton, how are you guys feeling today on this beautiful day? Finally got one.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm good.
I'm feeling good.
Yeah, I'm excited.
So, Dayton, how does it feel to break the school record?
It feels pretty good. Last year I set it. I want to say that was our final that was our final indoor meet that we had last year. I set it at 11.6, and then I beat it again this year at Anderson and hit 12, which got me to state this year, which was pretty neat.
Absolutely. And Lillian, how does it feel to tie the school record?
It's really exciting. I didn't even know when I was vaulting what the indoor girls record was, and actually Coach Merli, after, he was like, hey, I think you just tied like the school record, and I was like, no, I didn't, because I thought that it was 9.9, which is the outdoor record. I thought I had saw somewhere that it was the same indoor and outdoor, but it wasn't apparently. So it was really exciting, and I'm just really grateful to have the opportunity to even be there and be able to put myself in that position.
Absolutely. So how are you guys leaning on each other to kind of get into this kind of momentum kind of swing here, especially since PCC is an outdoor, you got state tournament again. So what can you build off of this state appearance?
Well, I think that having another pole vaulter that's just as committed as I am to doing their best, it really helps because we push each other to be the best that we can be, and we can kind of critique each other a little bit if we see something small that this person does or the other person is doing right or wrong, and we can kind of give each other like pep talks before we go or whatever, because we both know what each other is feeling before you get on the runway.
Or we feel, the need to, before a meet, hey, if you got to go to another event, I'll check in your pole, and it's just very, helpful that you have somebody else there that understands the ability to pole vault, and on top of that, how it feels to pole vault, because other pole vaulters are always, in go mode, or they're just completely out and wherever. But it's also nice to have somebody on your side at all times that can help you with that.
Okay, so what's kind of the mental aspect of the pole vaulting, especially since it's kind of a dangerous event and all that stuff? So what's the kind of mental side of it?
I guess the mental side of it is, I'm Catholic, so I always pray before a meet, that God will keep me safe, or, before I vault or hurdle. It's a very dangerous aspect to it, and if you aren't fully committed or, on go mode that day, then things could go wrong. Your plant might be off, or your form might not be the best when you land on the bar. The most dangerous thing I think in pole vaulting is if you were to land in the box with spikes on. Mm-hmm. If you were to land in the box with spikes on, it's like you're landing on ice with ice skates, and it's very slippery. But it's definitely very dangerous, and yeah.
I just try to trust in my training and not second guess myself on what I'm trying to do. I just try to keep my mind clear of any negative thoughts that might come into my brain, and just focus on what I know how to do and not think about it. Also, when I see the pole vaulting fails on reels and stuff, I try to just skip past them.
I mean, that'd be a good kind of thing to look at, to kind of see what somebody does wrong, see what this and that.
Yeah.
So who do you guys kind of look at, kind of film-wise, kind of with pole vaulting, the kind of learn a little bit more on different ways to jump, different ways to kind of land and stuff like that?
So somebody that I watch often, my uncle brought him up to me a few years ago, and I've never really, I never knew who he was. Mondo Duplantis, he is the world record holder for pole vaulting. I'm pretty sure he's from Sweden, but he's a pole vaulter that holds the record, and his vaults are crazy. It's 22, almost 23 foot in the air. That's crazy to think from what I'm going at, which is 12 foot right now, to like 23 foot. That is insane, and you can see how his form has changed over the years. He started vaulting, I'd like to say, when he was 3 or 4. And each year that he's vaulted, he's gone up a foot. So, at 4, he was going at 4 foot. At 5, he was going up 5 foot. So it's just, it was crazy to watch that over the years. And, I try to take in his strategy and his mental aspect over pole vaulting. What about you, Lillian?
Honestly, I don't really watch anyone professionally. I mostly just watch the videos of myself to try and figure out what I did good in this vault versus what I did bad, and what I can improve on, or maybe something that I was doing that I forgot about that I need to start doing again, and stuff along those lines.
Absolutely. So let's say with tonight's practice, what are some things you guys are targeting on the pole vault side?
I'm targeting a consistent run. I'm trying to make my runs more consistent from the beginning of practice to the end of practice, just so that my steps can be where they need to be, and so that I can have consistent vaults. And I'm also focusing on having a good plant and getting my feet up to where they need to be to make my form better.
I guess with form, mine would be form. Overall with your form, if it's not spot on or your step's not spot on, then your form could be out of whack. You have to get your feet up to a certain point. You cannot be looking to the bar. If you're looking at the bar, then it's not going to go over well. You might land in the middle of the pit, or you might land off the pit. So it's you just got to watch how you're, running. If your speed isn't consistent at the same time, then it's not going to go over well. But tonight's practice, I think I'd hit form. There's this new thing that we learned not too long ago. It's called candlesticks. That gets your feet up. That gets your turn down. But yeah, it definitely helps.
Okay, nice. So kind of going through the PCC. Okay, so Dayton, you've been dominating the PCC the last couple of years. So what are some things for you to kind of keep this momentum going for that possible championship in the PCC as well?
I guess hitting new heights would help. Last year I hit 11.6 to win the Porter County, championship. Which this year, if I hit 12.6, even now if I hit 13 foot, I break the outdoor record, which is going to be a good thing. But 12.9 is the record. If I hit 12.6 this year, I think I'm in a safe spot for the rest of the PCC.
Absolutely. And Lillian, developing from not having that much of an indoor season the last couple years, now going to state. So what can you build off of that to PCC, to the state kind of tournament in the outdoor season?
Well, I can just really build off of my form and what I've trained. I can help myself by, continuing to do what I'm doing, trying to get better every day. And having the indoor season has really helped in order to, I've already broken my PR that I set last year, and that PR I set on our very last home meet. And so I've already broken that, which already puts me ahead of where I was last year. And it's just really nice to not have downtime where I'm just trying to get to where I was, because I've already did that. So I'm all ready to go for the outdoor season.
Absolutely. I think you guys are. So Stay froggy, my friends. You're always welcome, especially if you break a couple more records. I mean, geez, Louise, you two.
Yeah.
But thank you for coming on here and
Thanks for having us.
and
Yes,
welcoming
thank you
me
for having us.
back into my stomping grounds here. But yeah, stay froggy, my friends.
Alrighty.